Hey, it's Mr. Redstone, and in this video we're going to be writing linear equations in point-slope form. Now students sometimes get hung up about this one, but after they've played with it for a few days they realize that it's a heck of a lot easier to work with than slope-intercept form. Point-slope form will tell the reader a point that the line goes through as well as the slope of the line. And the equation we'll use is y minus y1 equals m onto x minus x1. x1, y1 is the point that you're given. M is the slope that you're given. And what I'm going to do for this first example is just a straight substitution, and then I'm going to look at the graph and go back and check it using slope-intercept. So the y value of the point that we were given was -3. So we're going to write y subtract -3. The slope that was given was -1/2. The x value that was given was 10. And essentially you're done. You can clean up the left-hand side a little bit by changing the subtraction of a negative to addition. But other than that, put a box around it and you're finished. Y plus 3 equals -1/2 of x minus 10. That's the line written in point-slope form. And a lot of students think they will have to do something else after that, like solve for y, but you don't. You're done. So now we're going to check this using our graph. We were given a point that this line goes through, 10, -3, and a slope of -1/2. That means every time x increases by 2, y is going down by 1. And I can plot all of these points to backtrack to the y-intercept. In this case, it's 2. If I want to check my work, what I can do is take the answer that I have in that purple box, that point-slope form, and convert it to slope-intercept form. And I do that by solving for y. So I'll start by distributing that -1/2, and then subtract 3 from each side. And what you see is you get a line of -1/2 x plus 2. Well, that's the same thing that we graphed on the right-hand side in the grid. So I'm going to do one more of these. What line passes through 3, -1 and 5, 3? Well, if I'm going to write this in point-slope form, I'm going to need the slope. So y2 minus y1 would be 3 subtract -1. x2 minus x1 would be 5 subtract 3. So our slope is 2. Now, if I want to write the equation in point-slope form, I need a point. But I've got 2 of them. Which point do I use? What I tell students is to use the easiest point, the one without negatives. But for the purpose of this example, I want you to realize that it doesn't matter which point you pick. So I'm going to write the equation for 3, -1 as my point, and 5, 3 as my point. And what you're going to see eventually is the two lines are the same. So for this first case, y minus y1 equals m onto x minus x1. I'm going to use 3, -1 as my coordinate. So if I subtract -1, I get +1. 2 times x minus 3. Put a box around it. That is done. If you had stopped there, that answered the question. That is the point-slope form of the line meeting the characteristics. Now if I had used the other point, and I'll do this one in red, 5, 3, with a slope of 2. Again, I would say y minus y1 equals m onto x minus x1. Our y1 in this case is 3. Sorry, my head's in the way right there. So y minus 3 equals 2 onto x minus 5. Put a box around it and you're done. Both of these answers are equally correct. But a lot of students will say they look different. And I'm going to prove that they're the same. Here's how we're going to do it. we're going to take that purple equation and we're going to distribute and subtract 1. Essentially, we're going to get it into slope-intercept form. So I distribute, I subtract 1, and I'm going to get the line y equals 2x minus 7. I'm going to do the same thing for this red box. I'm going to distribute the 2, and then I'm going to add 3 to isolate my y. I get the same line. But like the infomercials you see on TV, wait, there's more. What if I had used my grid? What if I had plotted the point 3, -1 and 5, 3? If I connect those 2 points, I'm going to get the line 2x minus 7. Let's find out. First point and second point. So it looks like it's a slope of 4/2 or 2, just like we calculated earlier. And I'm going to use subsequent points using that slope of 2 to work backwards to get the y-intercept, which is -7. Look, remember, if you had just stopped with the boxed answers, you're right. I just wanted you to understand that, they were the same. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.